Hey there, my name is George Koff, and I'm with the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference. Today, we talk with Colorado Mesa baseball head coach Chris Hanks. The Mavericks came in as the preseason favorite in the 2024 preseason coaches poll. So without further ado, here's our conversation with Coach Hanks. Alrighty, we're here with Coach Chris Hanks of the Colorado Mesa baseball program. Coach, thanks for being with us today.
Happy to be here. Thank you.
So, Coach, you guys are obviously coming off, again, another great season there in Grand Junction. Why don't you go ahead and preview the 2024 season for us?
Well, the preview is we're 0-0. I think we have a good group of kids. We're still trying to figure out where some pieces go with some new personnel and how it blends with the returning guys. And, we have another week to work on that before we start off our season.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, speaking of the upcoming season, you've guided the program to 11 straight RMAC regular season titles. Obviously, that's a pretty big feat. It's something that hasn't really ever been matched in the recent years of the RMAC. What is it going to take to win another one this year?
Well, I think just from our standpoint, looking at the big picture, focusing on one day at a time and trying to develop this team, our pitching staff, and in general, our team, and just growing throughout the year. It's always a work in progress. There's always adjustments that have to be made, and we want to be sure we're really competing at the highest level possible at any given time.
And it does seem like you guys compete at the highest level just about every year with the success in and out. And with your experience, you've been there for over 25 years in Grand Junction. You've coached quite a few teams that have gotten deep into the postseason, and it's hard to do that, especially with repeated success. What do you believe is the key to having a team that is able to make a long playoff run? What is it going to take for this year's team, to do that?
Well, I think it boils down to a bunch of guys buying in to the messages that we're and the culture that we've established and developed, and then guys just really playing together. We spend a lot of time focusing on that. Guys accepting roles, and then guys playing at a high level. You got to have great pitching. You have to have pitching depth, and you have to have consistency of play. Winning's hard. Winning consistently is even harder. So it really comes down a little bit to, I think, a mindset and a daily process of how you go to work.
Well, Coach, you just mentioned it. The pitching and the depth of pitching is really important, having a really good pitching staff. You're anchored with the RMAC Freshman Pitcher of the Year from last year, Liam Hohenstein, and Jacob Rhodes, how they've just really, they contributed to having the best ERA in the RMAC as a team. What do you instill in your pitchers to set themselves up for success and help you guys really create a presence on the mound every game, in and out?
Well, we spent a lot of time talking about how you need to compete on the mound. What does that look like, act like, feel like? How does that play out? How do you prepare? And then some obvious things: getting ahead, a lot of first pitch strikes, uh, doing everything you can to make the opponent beat you, not beating yourself with walk, things of that nature. And I think if you can stay away from beating yourself, it's hard for just about anybody to beat you.
And in this day and age with baseball growing with analytics and things, how much does analytics play into making sure those guys know, what their spin rates are and their strikeout ratios and how to become a better pitcher in the sense of, creating counts, three ball counts or, two strike counts and being able to get ahead of hitters?
Well, I think the analytics can play a part in development. I think in real game action, in my opinion, I'm not sure they help a whole lot. I think there's a point in time where you got to stick your spikes in the dirt and go compete in an old school fashion. I think there is a blend. I think that we can look at those analytics after a start or a performance and evaluate, why things went poorly or why they went well. But a lot of things just comes down, regardless of spin rate or anything else, it comes down to throwing enough strikes and pitching ahead often enough, keeping hitters out of those counts where they can camp on one pitch. That really sets you up for success on the mound.
And definitely staying ahead in the count and making you be in control, be the pitcher, be in control rather than the hitter. Well, with that, going into the other side of baseball with the being at the plate, you guys were very versatile last year, being able to hit for power, being able to hit slug really well, but also be able to play small ball and know when to lay down a bunt, lay down a sacrifice fly, and bring in the run just to create that offense. How imperative is it for you guys or for you as a coach, especially, to have a well-rounded hitter and a lineup that can do that, but also be patient at the plate and draw walks and force the pitcher to throw a mistake?
Well, I think the best teams can do all those things well. And so that requires that you work on those things or recruit athletes that have the ability to do those things. But we work on that heavily. We want to be balanced. We want to have multiple ways that we can win. We want to have multiple ways that we can answer to any given situation, be it a dominant pitcher to a guy that maybe isn't that good. And the thing here in our conference is, you can get addicted to the home run. Uh, you know, it, the ball flies here better than a lot of places. But when the year concludes, you're not playing at elevation; you're playing at sea level in a big park where the ball doesn't fly. So I think we have to prepare ourselves to win be able to win in a variety of ways.
Would you say that the home run, when you are playing in RMAC play, would you say the home run does benefit you more than playing small ball, or do you think that's one of those things that it just depends on the opponent that you are playing?
I think it depends. I think it depends on the pitcher on the mound. I think it depends on the opponent somewhat. I think it depends on the day at hand. I mean, we play on days in this conference, uh, where although we play at elevation, the wind's blowing in, and that can happen anywhere. And where the home run is negated and the double might be negated, the power aspect of the game. So what are you going to do then? Can you play small ball? Can you uh, steal bases? Can you manufacture runs? So we want the ability to be dynamic from a power standpoint, but never at the expense of not being able to do those small things to manufacture runs.
Gotcha. Yeah, stealing bases and getting on with hit by pitches too. And one thing I did want to mention was Rob Sherrar. He had the third best batting average as an individual in the RMAC last year. He returned to this Mavericks team that you just mentioned, able to hit for power, but also that small ball. What is his impact like for the team? What does he bring to the team to help that offensive mindset grow at the plate?
Well, first and foremost, he's a terrific leader and he's a great young man. But he has power. He can hit with power. He can steal bases. He's good with the short game. He's a great defender on defense, and he's patient at the plate. So that patience at the plate and the ability to get good pitches to hit and swing at the correct pitches is one of the biggest factors in hitting for a good average.
Absolutely. And you talked about he is a leader and being able to be, with all that experience. You have a lot of guys on this team with experience and a lot of upperclassmen that come back for this year's campaign. How important is it for that leadership to create cohesiveness throughout this team, especially with some transfers and some new guys trying to come in and learn the culture that you have put out for the team?
Well, I think it's every new player's responsibility to adapt to a coaching staff that's been here and consistent for a lot of years, and it's their job to become acclimated and buy into the culture of our program, and which the kids have, and then it's up to the leaders on the team or the team itself to own the team, and so we do have strong leadership, and I think to have guys that like Rob Sherrar that encompass everything that we believe, uh, that makes it even easier to sell to new players how we go about doing things.
Go about doing it the Maverick way, I guess. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And coach, one final question for you. You talked about this team and what they're capable of doing. You guys made it to quite a few super regionals, back to back these past few years and being able to have some a recent success what would be the mark and would mark success for the Mavs this year in 2024?
Well, our goal is always to get back to the World Series and try to make a deep run. It's been a few years since we've gotten back there, since 2019 when we played in the national championship game. The end of the year, we want to be in a position to be in the regional tournament, to get into the NCAA tournament, because then anything can happen. Regardless of where you are entering that in terms of a seed or anything else, there can be a lot of factors that play into that. Being a number one seed isn't a guarantee that you're going to win the regional and the super and advance on. It does give you home field advantage, though, which can be key, especially if you end up playing a Lone Star team in the end. But I think to get into the tournament, that's always the best goal. Regardless of winning the conference, get in the NCAA tournament, and then you got your shot to make a run.
Well, Coach, we wish you the best of luck and hopefully see some really good action here in Grand Junction from the Colorado Mesa Mavericks. Thanks for your time and good luck this season.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Appreciate it.